Today's video is sponsored by the team over at 𝐴SICmarketplace.com. With crypto mining hardware prices dropping, it's critical to find an online store you can trust with your ASIC purchases. The team at 𝐴SICmarketplace.com has you covered with some of the most competitive pricing on the market. No matter what brand you're looking for, ASIC Marketplace has it. To name just a few: Bitmain, Goldshell, WhatsMiner, IB-Link, iPolo, Jazzminer, and many more. There are no surprises with ASIC Marketplace. The price listed on their website includes shipping. Imagine that. Finally, ASIC Marketplace takes the buying experience to the next level by accepting cryptocurrency as payment directly on their store. Go check out ASIC Marketplace today via the link in this video's description down below, as well as save $50 at checkout with the discount code TheHobbyistMiner. What's going on, guys? Hello, welcome. It's Thursday night. How are you guys? Thanks for coming to hang out with me tonight. Got quite a few of you guys hanging out in chat nice and early, so do appreciate it. We'll check to make sure you guys can hear me okay, and then we'll be jumping in here. Quick PSA, everything going on. So our buddy, Mr. Daniel Keller, had some personal things come up last minute. But we do have someone coming in at 10:30 from the Flux team, that is going to chat with us and answer a boatload of our questions. So we couldn't get Daniel Keller on to talk Flux. We'll reschedule with him, but we're going to ask questions at 10:30. But in the meantime, we got a friend of ours here to come and join us while we have about 30 minutes to hang out. We are hanging out with DeFi Django. What's going on, brother?
Hey, man, what's going on?
Ah, it's going good.
Guys, everyone's Dan Keller, and I'm like hiding behind the curtain over here.
That's right. He's like, wait for me. So yeah, if you guys are familiar, DeFi Django is going to hang out with us for about 30 minutes until we have on our team member from Flux to chat. He is a content creator, but more predominantly, he is a GPU mining farm operator, which is cool. We did a video not too long ago together. But what's been new with you since then? How's things going? How's the farm search going? How's that working out for you?
It's going good. That's pretty much all I've been doing is just trying to get a building.
Okay.
And just find a building and get a building, and I'm like really close, and so I'm just like, that's all I can focus on. I haven't really done anything other than that for like the past few weeks, just trying to find this building.
What's been your biggest struggle there as a miner? I don't know if you could turn your mic up at all. Some people are saying you were super quiet. I got you maxed out. Oh, his mic's over there. His mic's like out of the way.
Oh, wait, is that better? Probably.
It is a little bit louder. Yeah, look at him. He's like holding it there. Like...
There you go. Now, yeah. So the biggest issue has been getting money for a building, okay? Because I don't have any money. All of my money.
What do you mean? Money doesn't just fall from the GPU gods? Like, come on, brother.
Get, okay? Like everything that I have is tied up in crypto and in mining rigs, right? So I don't want to have to sell any of my mining rigs, or I don't want to sell any of my crypto, and that's really the holdup is just, not selling anything. 'Cause I don't want to, but yeah. So I've just been trying to either find something that I can rent, but that's like impossible. Because like nothing has infrastructure, and infrastructure is so expensive for the.
It's hard to find somewhere to rent that's going to allow you. Like, you have to put out the expense. Like, people don't realize, like, buying a building is like easy, but going ahead and being like, it needs to have the power support to support it, which most buildings don't. And then on top of that, I need to spend X amount to wire. Like, electrical infrastructure wiring is insane. And then on top of that, airflow as well.
Yeah, I posted on Twitter a couple weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago. I found this building out in Oklahoma that was like a marijuana growing farm, and I really thought that was going to be my building. I went out, flew out, and looked at it. I actually flew out there twice.
Wow.
Meeting with electricians and stuff. It was a really prominent. Like, I thought this was the spot. It was like 2 megawatts. The whole thing was working good, except for the fact that once we got some quotes from electricians, and the build out was going to cost over $500,000
just for electrical.
Yeah, for the electrical for the 2 megawatts, right, and everything we needed. It was crazy. We got 2 different quotes from 2 different people because we had to buy everything, the transformers, like all the work, and it was nuts. And so it's like we weren't going to try and.
Did your mic just slowly go away? Your mic is like your mic's just slowly going like this.
Just vibrating away.
Well, it's in the camera and then it's like slowly disappearing.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I was hitting my table too much and it was like just vibrating.
Can you get like closer to it? Like I have you maxed out on my side. Like I can't make it any louder, honestly. Yeah, it's just funny because like it just wants to move. Try now.
Is that better?
That is better. That is better. It's just making me laugh, and like people in chat are just saying like he's just slowly getting quieter. So yeah, it's definitely better. Like I'm literally almost eating an ice cream cone right here, is what it looks like.
Perfect.
So
I'll keep it right here.
Perfect. So yeah, so you're saying that, and those of you guys who are in chat, we're gonna be talking Flux. We have a member from the Flux team coming on here shortly. 10:30. Jenga's hanging out with us, talking shop in the meantime. But anyways, so have you started to find more facilities out there that are like from the last bull run, like built out? Because I feel like that now I'm not in the know, but I feel like that is like one of the biggest home runs is to find a facility that, because take electrical and airflow already done for you. It's like, holy cow. Like it seems like it's a huge home run.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for, because the what we have is so big that it just would cost so much to build out anything. It doesn't make sense for us to do anything that we can't be in a long term. So I have found full of facilities that are built out to what like that are already built out, like for mining and everything. But then it comes down to the fact that they want to sell it, and I don't have the money to buy it. So
sure,
I've been trying. That's what I'm trying to get an investor involved. And I've been talking to like all kinds of people. Crazy. I just had like a big meeting today with a bunch of people, and I literally just straight up offered them, like, this is the very first time I've ever done this, but I just offered my like 50% of my entire business, like my mining, my hosting, everything. I was like, instead of just buying the building, just 50% of everything that I make for forever, for $1 million. And they said they'll get back to me tomorrow. So
oh my word.
Yeah. So I'll see. I mean, just pay me $1 million. I'll take that $1 million, buy a building, and then you'll just own half of everything. But I mean, the $1 million, but I wouldn't have to pay that back though, right? Because it goes into the company. So I don't know if they'll take that deal.
Sure. No, I get it. No, that sounds good. I mean, that's definitely a struggle there, because now you're in a situation where like, and it's also, you have to think from an investor perspective, you have to drop, let's say you want to drop $1 million, right? Like and you drop $1 million, but there's no guarantee you'll make that back. Let alone, because you know what I mean? Like,
it's definitely riskier because you're investing in a business. You're investing in.
You're in a business where it's like the worst time to be in that business right now.
Yeah, you got to convince them. But the better investment is, hey, give me $800,000. That's what I'm trying to get, is $800,000, okay, and I'll just pay you 10% on your money. Only toward the end. Like I'm only trying to pay, like, interest only. Like I won't, like, nothing toward principal. I'll just pay you until I can qualify for this building, and then once I can buy the building myself, then I'll pay back the $800K plus 10%, so $880,000. So
yeah,
I feel like it's pretty good. I feel like it's a pretty good deal because like the real estate is the collateral, right? And so we'll see what happens. I'm really trying to get someone to give me that. But
have you thought? And this is
posted like any content at all, because I've literally been doing nothing but just calling every single person I know, and just
content's not going to pay the bills at that level. So like your world is that. Another thought I had was, because of like, and this is just me spitballing some ideas here, while we're waiting here, if you guys are just joining, but so a building is a big struggle, and you have to build out the infrastructure and all of that. But like, what about, I'm just throwing out ideas, is like, what about a container build outs and stuff like that? Like, if you could find, is it easier to find a plot of land you could drop that on, or a substation you could drop that on, or like, would that be, I mean, the hard part is, I guess, containers aren't really built out for GPU mining. Is that correct?
Yeah, they're usually not built out, but it also just comes down to, like the same thing. It just takes another investment, right? Because
Gotcha.
you need to buy the land, or you don't even need to buy the land, but you know, you still have to build out the containers, and you still have to, and that all costs money, you know. And so, I mean, I have over a megawatt worth of miners ready to be plugged in, and so it's just like the minimum investment is for 1 megawatt worth of stuff, right? But this building I'm trying to get is way bigger than that. It's over 3 megawatts, and so I want.
Wow.
I'm like,
so if you're still stuck in this struggle, is there any incentive you can give your the data center that you're at now to push forward with getting this fixed in order to get them like involved in the business? Like, hey, can I give you 10% in order to move forward with this? Like, you know what I mean? You see what I'm saying?
I mean, I've talked to them a bunch, but they're not, like, they do other stuff. They're not, they wanted to get involved in crypto when I first moved in, but then they never did. And even now, they're not really making any money with that property. Like, I'm still like the only person there, and they're literally losing $50,000 a month is like their burn rate at that building.
Wow.
And I'm not paying anywhere close to that. So
I'm surprised they haven't tried to sell it then at that point. Like, or it is for sale.
They have plans for it. They bought that property for a lot of money. And the guy that bought it is a big time. I mean, he has like 50 other properties, you know. So it's not like he's a big dog, but yeah, he has like big plans for this property. He wants to demo it and turn it into a giant apartment complex.
Got ya. Okay.
And so, but like it's costing him like $50,000 a month to keep this property the way it is. I think what the holdup is they have a lot of regulations with the city and everything.
Oh, sure. Especially when you go trying to build apartments and stuff, people right away frown upon that. And like, I get it. Yeah. I mean, that's.
He doesn't want to put any, like, because all the infrastructure that was there at the building, he paid for all of that there. All the electrical, he paid for all that. So, but now he's not willing to pay for anything, which I mean, fine, but I also don't have to pay anything because of it. Correct,
but you're stuck. He's stuck. Like, you're both kind of stuck there.
But either way, I've kind of outgrown that place a little bit. I'm not using all my power, but I have gotten like so many people that want to host with me, and I have this one mega client. I posted a bunch on Twitter, like these big server cases. Like,
I saw.
Like, yeah, I have like 300 of those just sitting like in storage, waiting to be turned on. And so that's all of those combined are like 3 times what I have at the data center. So I'm like, the data center I'm way bigger than it now. So
all right, so more ideas for you while we talk about it. What about leasing space at a current mining farm? To say lease some of their space, infrastructure's there, electrical's there, and lease space. So you could bring your hardware there. They already have everything ready for you. Power's there. You know, everything's ready. Airflow's ready to go. You just need something, because it sounds like you need something in the meantime. You need something to get yourself up.
I do and I don't, right? Because unless I can, because I'd be willing to do that if I could get a good hosting rate. And honestly, I can't find anything under 10 cents that would host GPUs. So it's like, if I can't find anything under 10 cents, then it's like not really profitable. So I mean, or even if it is profitable, it's like just barely, you know, it's not enough to rush into something. So I'm really hoping I can just make this building work, because that's what really needs to happen.
I'm looking out for it. I want to see you over leverage yourself during, and this is something that like is constantly an issue, where we see people over leverage in the bull market, and then the bear market comes around and they're just decimated. Versus your situation, I hate to see you over leverage during the bear market, and then it goes too long. Like, that's the hard part. You put all that money, and these are all things that you probably spitball in your head, where it's like, all right, you're going to commit to this building, and let's say you get it. Some whim, you get it, you're good, and you start setting up hardware in there, and now you got an electric cost every month, but it's like you're selling everything you're mining just to meet the electric cost.
Yeah. So that's I definitely am keeping all that in mind. I'm not doing I'm still keeping I still have all my GPUs and all of my own crypto, so I'm not like leveraging any of my own investments, right? Because otherwise I could sell all my equipment, and I mean I want to buy more equipment, honestly, but
you should not do that when you have nowhere to run it. Like,
yeah,
come on.
That's why I haven't done anything, because I've just been like trying to, yeah. But anyway, the electrical rate at the new building is really good. It's a lot better than because the lease that I have in the data center right now is really good, but when I have this many, I'm way overpaying. The landlord benefits greatly from it, and I would actually if I was able to get this building, like my 10% payment on this 800,000 would actually be like half my rent payment at the
wow, okay.
center. So it's like the costs are way better, and so even with electrical, even with electric, my cost is about the exact same, because that was just the rent, because I don't pay the rent, and the electric are included at the data center, but over there I'll have to pay rent and or a payment on the 800,000 plus the electric. So but then I'll only be at 1/3 capacity over there. Everything is built out for mining already. Like they already have all of the fans, like they're ready to, everything. It's like plug and play. Like all of it, I have to just bring my stuff there and plug it in. So.
And you're set and ready to go. No, I get it. Yeah, chat, I can't turn Django up anymore. He's maxed out the best we can. We were trying earlier. There's a gain on the microphone, but then you also have on your computer, you have your mic settings. Like if you right click on the speaker and go to if you right click speaker bottom right, go to open sound settings, and then it's going to show your output and your input. Next to input, right below input, there's a blue link that says device properties. If you click on that, what is that at right now?
Oh, it's only at 29%. There we go.
29. He's about to blow our ears right now, boys and girls.
I just turned it to 75, so.
Yeah, it's much better.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Okay. 75 is good. You never want it to be up all the way. So we'll wait for chat to catch up there, and we should be good. Which will be better? Yeah, chat's like much better.
Oh, perfect. My settings are all the way down. So
I had you at 100, and I had you at 200% in Discord anyway, and like everything's maxed out on my side. So I'm like, guys, I can't do anything. I'm sorry. But yeah, guys, so we're chatting with Django. He's hanging out. This is our introduction. This is your appetizer right now. Still sounds better than Panda's mic. Oh yeah, sometimes this mic's terrible. So as I talked about, the very top of things, Daniel Keller had to reschedule last minute, and it's a shame, but it is what it is. Anyways, other than that, we were able to get somebody on from the Flux team at 10:30, so about 12 minutes. So in the meantime, Django jumped on and was like, hey, let's just chat, hang out, shoot the shit. There is a questions area built in with chat at the very top. If you go there, throw your questions in there for when we start to get in with Flux. I got a boatload of questions for the group, but yeah, we'll keep going from there, which is cool. So thank you guys in chat for your help. Do appreciate it. We're just chatting with Django now, his struggles on finding a new location for his mining farm, the best we can, which is cool. So right now, do you have anything on, or everything's off, like in every way, shape, and form?
So I do have a bunch of stuff on. I have like 50% of stuff on. So it's
really wow.
Yeah. So I'm just keeping everything at like 82 degrees Celsius or below. And anytime it gets anything that gets above that, I shut it off. And then, so every time, so then it goes a couple days, and then one will get above, and I shut it off. So it's fine.
Yeah.
But it's not like terribly hot.
Now you're running are you running your two ASICs in there right now too, or did those move to the other spot? Okay.
I moved them to the other spot. To my other
the other spot there. Yeah, which that spot's like. Man, what about that guy? Can you expand there at all? No? Okay.
Nope. That's the thing.
I'm trying here. I'm trying.
Everything that you think of, I've already tried. Like, I've talked to that guy. That guy, so the guy that owns that building is like, he's not even a millionaire. The guy is a billionaire. Like, this guy is like insane.
Help a brother out. Come on now.
I know. Dude, just like give me 800,000. Like, come on. But no,
just give me.
I've talked to him. He doesn't want to invest it. So it's like, he has like a lot of these people, like, there's like no, I mean, if you have $1 billion, like, what is even the motivation to invest?
Well, curiosity there, I think, is a big one for those types of people. But I'm curious on if he would allow you to expand in that facility. Like, could you expand at that current spot? No? Okay.
I mean, I probably could a little bit, but I mean, we're talking, it's not enough to do anything. And we're talking probably another 200 amps or something. And I don't know if he would be.
What's going on with your mic, brother? It is like, it was. It's like right above your head. It was like sitting like right here. Okay. I love it. This is very entertaining. Okay. Well, Chili says to message him because he may have a spot for lease. So, you know, Chili, make sure, you know, you guys chat, which I think is really good in that regard. Some people were asking in chat what you're mining currently with the 50% you have turned on.
Okay. So most of everything is dual mining, 𝗏𝐺, and Radiant right now.
Wow, really?
And,
okay.
Yeah, it's and the reason is because I don't really base anything off of what my electric rate is, because I pay a flat rate, so it doesn't really matter if I use more watts or not. So that's kind of the reason there. So, and I've held a lot of Radiant, but now I've got to what I wanted, and so now I'm just selling my Radiant.
Okay, so you're mining Radiant, selling it there, and then what about the 𝗏𝐺 that you're mining right now? Are you selling that as well?
Yeah, I'm selling that as well. I've always sold the 𝗏𝐺. I have like none of it.
Now you do an 𝗏𝐺 because the heat perspective, like it's so hot in there, you're going with something that isn't.
So I have a lot of 178HX cards, and they pretty much can only mine. They mine 𝗏𝐺 way better than anything else. So it's like,
got it.
It doesn't even matter. Even if 𝗏𝐺, I mean, 𝗏𝐺 has fallen from like $2 all the way down to like $1.20, and it's still more profitable to mine than Ethereum Classic. So it's
I get it 100%. I mean, I got 2 E9 Pros. They're mining Ethereum Classic, but I've never got paid Ethereum Classic. Like I always just have those. You know, something different, either on Mineable or I have them on 2 miners getting paid out in Bitcoin. So I get it. I get it 100%. I mean, I feel like Ethereum Classic is just a highway to another opportunity, is where it comes down.
So, I mean, even if I was mining Ethereum Classic, I would be selling it too. I just started 2 days ago. I threw a bunch of rigs on 𝗏𝐺 AI. I don't know. I've never mined that before, but it's like really profitable.
What is that? I'm not familiar.
Yeah, it's on hashrate.no or whatever, hashrate.no or something. And it's on the top of the profitability list for 30
Now,
seconds.
how easily can you liquidate that or trade out of that, or do you do it a 𝗏𝐺?
It's way more liquid than Radiant, which I'm very surprised about. So, because like Radiant's daily trading volume on like 𝗏𝐺 is like $7,000 a day. So it's like And like I'm not selling that. Like I'm literally selling like $50 a day. Like I'm nowhere near like I'm not dumping Radiant. You know what I mean? But 𝗏𝐺 AI has like $300,000 worth of daily trading.
Wow.
I don't know why. I feel like it's manipulation because there's no way. It's way smaller on market cap. It's like number 3,000 on market cap. It's only $2 million market cap, and there's 300,000 trading volume.
Well, you said it on here, so you better watch out because you might have a few people jump on it. But that is really cool. Really cool to hear that. Yeah, DJ's ears in chat go up because he's like, "Wait, you talking AI? Like, let's talk."
Yeah.
You know, he's all
AI,
about Dynex and Render and all of those.
Yeah, so it's I'm mining it, and I'm getting paid what I should be. I mean, an 8-card rig is making, before electricity, an 8-card rig is making about $125
a day.
And then with no, a month. Sorry.
I'm like, holy shit! Hold the phone. Is this Ethereum days?
No. Yeah, I almost do everything by the month. It makes like $4.50. Like $4.50 a day. It's probably down now. It's probably down to like $3.80 a day or something like that. But it's been fluctuating between $3.80 a day and $4.50 a day for like 2 days now. And
wow, good for you. I mean, hey,
on 𝗏𝐺 too. 𝗏𝐺, because before it was only on.
Dude, 𝗏𝐺, I have more recently found 𝗏𝐺, and like people have talked about it for a while, and like Max Voltage has been a strong proponent of 𝗏𝐺, and I've just never spent the time. And then I got that Mult Miner M2 FPGA, and I was mining 𝗏𝐴SPA with it, and that was great. But then like, you know, all the 𝗏𝐴SPA ASICs started coming out, so I pivoted over to Radiant. It's on Radiant right now, which is nice. They've released the bitstream for it. So I've been mining. Radiant was the first thing I mined to 𝗏𝐺, and I did my first trade, swapped to Bitcoin the other week, swapped it, let it run for like a month, swapped it, sent it to my Bitcoin wallet, and was like, damn, that was too easy. Like, that's really, really nice. It's nice. I mean, it's really convenient. And I think, man, if Trade Ogre could get more and more of these smaller cap coins, these newer coins, I mean, it reminds me of Duke Nukem from 1995, the way the look on the page is. But yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's the user interface is really weird, but it's a great exchange though. Like it works, and it's like reliable, and it's no KYC, which is very important. So
I will take that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we'll just so that's what I've been doing, and I've been like accumulating a small bag of each of these coins. Like I have good. I've actually have a pretty big bag of Radiant, like bigger than I thought I was gonna do.
Good for you.
I don't know. I don't. But I mean, I plan on selling it though. When I plan on like selling all of it when it goes up. You know, so yeah, like I'm just kind of riding that wave. Same with this Gnura AI. I'm gonna have way less of it, but I think I'm gonna hold it for. I don't know. We'll just see.
Yeah, I still have not been a part of a project early on enough where I've been able to put a boatload away. Like I haven't been a part of. I'm always behind. I swear, I'm always behind, and I don't know if it's because I put blinders up or it's because like sometimes I want to get into all these small projects. So I'm like, great, do it, and then they never take off. And then these other ones, like I'm always like, I'm gonna hold off. Like, you know, 𝗏𝐴 was a great example. I didn't buy any hardware for 𝗏𝐴. I didn't really mine any 𝗏𝐴, and then I'm super late to it, and then I'm trying to catch up, and it's like, you can't catch up, brother. Like, you know, I feel like that's definitely the case. So good for you. I mean, find something. I would love to find something where I could take it, put away, like take 50% per week, put it, keep that bag, and the other 50% swap it to Bitcoin, like, or liquidate it.
And that's what I got to basically for me, because it took me about a month of mining Radiant to what I want to keep, and then now I'm just liquidating it every day, just daily, into Bitcoin or into 𝗏𝐴, because I wish I started mining 𝗏𝐴 way earlier too. I started in January, which was kind of before everybody else.
It was a little bit earlier. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it was a little bit earlier than like the masses, right? But I still was late. But I mined way more. Like the amount of 𝗏𝐴 that I mined in January, it took me like over a month to mine. Yeah, it took me so long to mine that.
Did you sell it or convert it when it hit like the 4-cent mark?
No, I didn't. I sold it. I didn't take profits on it.
Okay.
As what I should have. I sold like at 2 cents, and then I ended up rebuying at the 1.5 cents. So I mean, I made a little bit. I made a little bit positive. Yep. But I wish I took more, but I'm fine with it. I like 𝗏𝐴. I think we'll do really good. I've just been. I was kind of skeptical at first with the ASICs, but I really think that it's not really going to affect the price that much. More than it already has. I mean, we already went down to 1.5. I don't think. I mean, a lot of people including me, I thought we were going below a cent, but I don't know if that's the case anymore. I almost think 1.5 might be the bottom for that.
Yeah, I love to see that stabilize in one way or another. Unfortunately, we haven't seen a ton of like Bitmain's 𝗏𝐴 hardware shipping and stuff like that. So like, there's still that to look out for. Yeah. So I'm like, we'll see. I mean, I've wanted to get my hands on a KS0. Because very like homeowner friendly and stuff like that. But by the time I get one, I feel like it's, you know, I mean, granted, $35 a day now, whatever it's at, is still insanity compared to anything else from like a home miner perspective. I mean, I know you got the Chaos 1 and 2s and stuff, and like, I have a hard time investing like $8,000 into anything. So like, that's really hard for me to pull that trigger on that. But yeah, even just the KS0 would be cool.
I haven't bought a single one. Way too risky.
Yep.
It's just like, I mean, I love 𝗏𝐴 and everything, but it's just like, I'm not. It's there's way too much uncertainty. From Bitman stuff, and just I just don't think it's good for everyone else. I hope everyone else makes money from it, but I'm doing other stuff right now, so.
Yeah, I agree.
I got my building is what I gotta do.
You need a building.
Yeah.
So if anybody knows of a building that is pre-wired with electrical, lots of electric, and has great airflow, maybe for lease, but most likely for purchasing, you got to hit up Django, and because this man's on a mission. Like,
Yeah.
If you looked
it's
anywhere, like
everywhere.
where's the craziest places you've looked? Like, because I know you're looking full US.
Yeah, I'm looking everywhere. I found a couple of like buildings in like Ohio and Missouri.
Okay.
I found sort of some stuff on the East Coast, New York, and I found there was one place I found in Wisconsin that was like so dope, but that one's like $6 million. Like, I'm like,
get
like,
the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no. This place was literally incredible. I like it's my dream like house. I would literally move there and never move away. Like I would live there forever. So but yeah, that's a little too early for that. Maybe in a couple years, but we'll see.
Crazy.
But
cool.
yeah,
Django. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, we got.
I've been working super hard to get this bill. I'm expecting. I had a big meeting today with like several millionaires. Okay, and that I've never met before, and so I'm just like hopping on.
Call them investors. You call them investors. No millionaires. They're just investors. Interested.
Yeah.
You know, dude, I hope it works out for you. I mean, it would be so cool to follow along that story.
Yeah, they're supposed to call me tomorrow, so and let me know. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's an investor. I mean, if you have 800,000 liquid capital, you're a millionaire.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Awesome, dude. Well, hey, I appreciate you coming on to shoot the shit for about a half hour while we wait. So thank you very much, brother. And I'll talk to you later. Good luck with your call. Hopefully tomorrow.
Sounds good, guys. I'll see you guys.
See ya. Bye. All right, guys. So appreciate you guys hanging out. We're going to bring in a Flux team member who's stepping in because Daniel Keller could not make it. Let me get a few things set up real quick, and hopefully I don't break things because, you know, I'm not the guy that's doing this all the time. So hang tight. I got that mattress money. Yeah, I don't know about that, brother. If I break it, it's not my fault, I swear. Let me just change a few things. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, bam. I got a call. I gotta break it. I know I am. All right. There we go. That should... Okay, cool. Let me see if he's free now. Let's do a little ring ring. Hello, hello. Let's see. We'll see if we broke it. Yeah, Django's a good guy. Appreciate him jumping on to shoot the shit for a little bit, which was really nice. Because I was like, I need... what are we going to figure out last minute? Which is good. Well, hello there, young man.
Wow, I haven't been called that in a while.
What is going? That's right. That's right. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna flip you around here real quick. You're good. You don't need to do anything. You are just hanging out.
Okay.
You just hang out. You do you. Because you know we're on the fly here. So guys, we got 𝗏𝐾𝐢𝐬𝐜𝐿 coming in to hang out with us, taking one for the team at this point in time. I got you hooked up. You're good to go there. I just flipped your camera around a little bit. So guys, 𝗏𝐾𝐢𝐬𝐜 is going to join us and talk Flux. Mr. Daniel Keller, you know, wasn't free last minute, so kind of threw 𝗏𝐾𝐢𝐬𝐜 to the wolves here and said, "Hey, we're talking Flux tonight. You want to come hang out?" So 𝗏𝐾𝐢𝐬𝐜, I do appreciate it, brother.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. I'm just happy the storm passed here, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to. It was bad.
I appreciate it. By the way, guys, I actually have a video coming out in 2 weeks with 𝗏𝐾𝐢𝐬𝐜. So I'm looking forward to that. That was actually going to air the week of the 17th. So you and I recorded that the other week, so it'll be cool on that note. For those people that don't know who you are, which I don't know how you don't, but let's get these semantics out of the way.
Sure.
What is your role with the Flux team?
I'm 𝗏𝐾𝐢𝐬𝐜. I'm the janitor at Flux.
Well said.
Yeah, I'm the what's my title again? I'm the CBO. I have the same title as the as 𝗏𝐵𝐵, our mascot, the dog. He's the chief bark officer. So I have the same title. Yep. Apparently it's chief business officer, but it's the same title, CBO. Basically my job is to reach out to other businesses, get business to business kind of relationships going, partnerships. Hang out with influencers, YouTubers like yourself,
Who? I'm just some guy on the internet. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What you're talking about.
You're a media contributor.
That's right. Very good. I like it. Make me feel important. So, you talked a lot about reaching out to businesses, connecting them with Flux, connecting them with the Flux project. Have you been very involved with the proof of useful work, connecting businesses with the need for compute? Have you been involved with that, or has that not been part of your role? I'm not asking you the name of the companies. I'm just asking, is that something you're doing?
No. Yes, I am. I'm definitely involved in that, and I got contacts in the space to do all of that fun stuff. So yes, I've been very much involved in that.
Awesome. I know everyone's interested in proof of useful work. Let's talk a little bit about Mining Disrupt coming up here in 2 weeks. I know the Flux team will be there. Flux will have a booth. And one of the things we know is that you guys have used Mining Disrupt as kind of a point in time when the benchmark tool that's been public. So talk about the benchmark tool a little bit. What does it do, and what will it tell us as miners?
So the idea with the benchmark is basically us reaching out to you, the community, to see what's available out there, get some numbers, so that it gives me numbers and statistics to go after more businesses to say, hey, this is kind of the type of cards that we have available to you.
Okay.
It'll also help us before we go live straight away on mass, however you want to pronounce it. It allows us as well to get out a couple of the kinks, because we're using a bunch of technologies working together, and sometimes these things don't like to work together. Yes, they work great in a nice closed environment, but as soon as we bring that out to the masses, all of a sudden things break. So we want to make sure that that's all working smooth. We're also planning on having some AI pieces already built in, so that that's already at the same time an MVP for folks who are interested in our product, so they can see how it works. We're working with a couple schedulers out there, making sure it's part of we're using technologies that people are familiar with. Jupyter notebooks and all that fun stuff, all of those things will be, we're hoping to get that all in the MVP at Mining Disrupt. And at Mining Disrupt, you'll be able to actually see it work. Hopefully even on one of the Octominers as well.
So you'll see not the benchmark tool, or you'll see. Are you guys calling it like the Flux OS, or like what is the terminology for the proof of useful work OS?
I think at the moment, the project name is Flux Core.
Flux Core. Okay.
It's a very modular product.
Okay.
You'll see a lot of fun things in there, very familiar things in there. Going from mining to nodes to regular proof of work to proof of use work. So all of it in one go to make it easier for everybody. And yes, it'll be on Windows, and yes, it'll be on Linux. We're currently working with Ubuntu. I think we have folks testing it on 20 and on 22. And I've been testing on Windows 11 and Windows 10.
Okay. Very cool. So it's not just going to be the benchmark tool that people can see at Mining Disrupt. It's actually going to be the OS as well. Is that correct?
Yep.
Wow. Very cool.
We're not calling it an OS. We're calling it the Flux Core.
Flux Core. But it's its own operating. Well, I guess it's sitting on top of. It's not its own
operating system.
I was going to say it's sitting on. It's an app layer, I guess, sitting on top of. Okay.
If we were to create our own OS, that would be a big stepping stone for a lot of traditional businesses. So we're using proven products out there: Red Hat, Ubuntu, Windows Server, and all that fun stuff. Okay,
so you're sitting on top of it from the app layer side then. Got it. Okay, cool. So that is great. So Mining Disrupt occurs. We get to see all of this. The benchmark tool will tell us how we stack up against others. Is that what you had said?
Yep.
But of course, I know everybody's like, oh, it's profitability. Well, I don't know that even exists then, because you need to have demand in order to determine profitability at that point in time. So am I correct in saying you're not going to get anything from a dollar value or from a Flux value? It's just going to be
No, okay, not at this point. Not at this point.
So, okay.
So the moment you have it installed, you'll be able to upgrade and update as we update. and then at one point, all of a sudden, we'll have it fully live, and you'll be one of the early adopters.
Am I hearing an auto update that doesn't require any human interaction? Is that what I'm hearing? Okay. Fantastic. That is cool.
We'll have auto and we'll have manual, so you'll be able to decide if you want it or not.
Yep. So that's cool. So then, okay, so we're going to see how we stack up against other people, and that's going to allow us then to measure how my hardware does against your hardware, does against someone else's hardware. Okay, cool. So that happens. Okay. Mining disrupt occurs. Awesome. You get everybody super excited. The benchmark tool, is it available during that week or the following week, or what is the expectation? Do you know?
I think we'll officially release it right after
Mining
Disrupt.
Right after Mining Disrupt. Got it.
If we can do it at Mining Disrupt, we'll definitely do it. But I think the goal is to do it after.
Do it after, so then I have a chance to get home from the event, and then everybody else in chat is going to say screw you, release it then. But I get it. Which will be super cool from that perspective. So I think there's a lot of misconception, I think, around the proof of useful work project. Like a lot of people, I've heard a few people either having a hard time understanding it or believing that it's going to harm traditional GPU mining with Flux. And based off of everything I've learned, that's entirely incorrect. It's almost a side project to earn more Flux. Is that accurate?
Absolutely. Yeah, you're absolutely bang on. This proof of work remains, right? So everybody can still do proof of work. You can be mining, and you guys were talking 𝗏𝐻 and other coins.
Yep.
You can be mining any of your favorite coins, whatever you want to do. The idea is that you then be able to switch over to useful work when useful work is available to you. That's the big difference. So it's actually adding on top of what you're mining today. So you have your baseline mining, and if useful work comes in, or somebody rents your rig, you'll be basically being paid extra.
Got it.
So it's on top. It's not replacing. You're getting extra, and that's kind of the goal here. We want to be able to bring more profit back into the mining space. We're all going to benefit from it. That's kind of the idea. We're benefiting from it. Researchers are benefiting from it. And there is a big demand. The more we talk with folks in the space, the more people are like very interested, because they are facing very high costs. Their budgets are going through the roof with the traditional providers at this point.
Yeah.
And that's something we want to tackle.
Are you finding that a lot of these traditional providers providing AI or other compute resources, like their pricing is just insanity because they can? Because there isn't, it's a supply and demand situation. Is that what you're finding?
It's not because they can, it's because they have to, and they would rather even up it if they could.
Okay, got it. Wow.
Because, and the reason being is that the overhead they're having, right? So they have so much overhead that they have to increase. They want to even increase it. At the same time, they don't want to because they want to get more customers in. So they are handing out grants left and right. So folks are using their systems until the grant runs out, and then people are left.
Yeah, what do you do? And then you just have to pay the piper. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's definitely painful to say the least. So, wow. Okay. So, based off of that, the proof of useful work, my understanding, and please correct me if I'm wrong, is that it will be designed to be used. Anybody can pretty much put their hardware on it, and it's gonna because of the fact of scaling is going to be available. It'll scale from what your crappy old hardware all the way up to fancy enterprise level systems. People can participate across the board. Is that accurate?
Yep, that is very accurate.
So
anybody with a regular gaming PC, with a 2060, 3060. 4060. I'm just sticking to the 60s here. But whatever you have in your machine, you benchmark it. You turn on the Flux Core system, and you can be mining if you want to be mining. We'll have the availability built in to straight away start mining. And if you don't want to do mining, if you don't feel comfortable with it,
Sure.
you just turn it off and you just make it available. And whenever some work comes towards you, you'll take your system and you'll be doing something useful. Rendering, AI, forecasting, whatever is required. We don't really control that.
Yeah, you're just providing the compute behind it, and it's used
Correct.
in that facet, which makes sense. Will it very much follow a lot of like what you guys have done with nodes, where it's like you really don't know what's on the nodes, like for privacy reasons, for security, it really comes down to, it's just being used for a service. Is that pretty accurate with that?
You're just a service provider, yeah. So you don't control what's really running on your computer. Okay. You control the hardware, but you don't control what's running.
Got it. And there's no way to see any of that or anything like that. You're just the way it exists.
We'll give you some information so that you have a bit of an indication, because it's always cool to know roughly what's working on your system, right? So we'll have some indication on what's going on, but you will not have all the full details, and that's intentional.
Got it. So another thing that comes to mind here, proof of useful work, I'm just thinking, just because it's the biggest talk of the town amongst us right now. So we talked a lot about like, okay, you'll be able to use it with whatever hardware, small or big, right? Great. Awesome. Sounds good. How's this going to look from a network perspective? And let's just talk about like a wireless versus wired, or a network speed perspective, like, because stability is going to be important as well. Like, how is that going to affect it? Like, you got piss poor connection. Let's say you can't run this on a hotspot, I assume, or something like that. Like, unless I'm wrong. Like how is that looking? Is it and the last part I'll put in there before I get your answer is it going to be like a node where like when it's down too much or too many problems, you get kicked to the back of the line? Like, what's that going to look like?
Yeah, so we're not kicking anybody to the back of the line, but we will be dropping your score. So your reliability goes down, right?
So you have a reliability score?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
And some people will freak out on that, I know. But we have to put a standard in, right? So if we want to be a top provider or a provider for this type of stuff, we need to be reliable. All of us together, we're going to be a service. And so we kind of have to weed out the ones with shitty hotspots and all of those things. Unfortunately, they're going to drop out. Now, nonetheless, they'll be able to mine, right? So they'll still be able to mine, but even their own mining, if you're on a shitty hotspot, you're gonna have terrible time regardless with mining, drop packages and drop shares and all that fun stuff. So you're gonna have to have decent internet. Decent internet doesn't mean I'm telling you're gonna have to have big uploads and all that fun stuff.
Like, so it's not gonna be like a node, where like a node is a pretty substantial.
Well, you say substantial. Even for a node, we're actually very low on the requirements.
Okay.
And that's a topic for a discussion by itself.
Yep.
But if you think about it, 100 up and down for a Stratus, for an enterprise level kind of server, is actually still very low.
Sure.
And even for a Cumulus, which can run a multitude of websites, 25 is even still low. I know in the US, 25 up is a big ask.
Man, U.S. infrastructure, man, it's garbage.
And that's on you guys. Like, literally, that's go to your congressman and start yelling at him, because.
But my DSL is the only thing I have. I get it. I get it. Okay.
I'm in the middle of the sticks here, right? I'm literally, if you would, and Panda, if he ever swings by, he'll see where I live, and he'll be amazed that I have 2 providers. So I have competition even here for fiber.
That's amazing.
I have availability here to go up to 10 gig fiber.
That's amazing. I mean, I could go to that too, but you got to pay the price tag to have it run.
I'll be paying like $100 what was it, $150 or something Canadian?
Wow.
So that's what, 5 US cents.
That's crazy.
And unlimited.
Which is
no rate.
Which is fantastic. Yeah, I mean, it's I get it. So okay, so then on proof of useful work, it won't be as high as a node, but it'll still be respectable.
It also will depend on what kind of work you'll be doing, right? So if you're going to be doing, what would be a use case where you have to have a lot of upload? thinking here.
Is that like rendering or something like that?
Yeah,
or...
maybe rendering, but even rendering goes in small packages.
Okay.
And
the
we're
work
trying
is
to
okay.
we're trying to divvy it all up, right? So, but you're gonna have to have a little bit of upload though. But I don't think you're gonna need huge amounts. Now, do we track it? Yes. Do we test it? Yes. So you'll be able to see where you fit in. Again, with the benchmarks, there's an entire list of charts where you can see basically where you belong in all of it.
Will you be able to pick like what type of, like you talked about jobs and like what they'll actually be focused on, or are you gonna be able to pick and choose like, hey, put me on that because I don't have the best upload but I still got decent, or is the system going to recognize that from a lot of these testing and then assign it to you?
We're still kind of debating internally, and debating is me beating up Alex how I want to see it, but but we're still debating if we want to do that automated or if we want to have people have the choice that they can say, hey, don't count me in for any AI. AI is scary. AI is the devil. AI is whatever.
Got it.
I saw people posting things about the apocalypse is started already because of AI.
Yep.
Well, we've been in the apocalypse then for a couple of decades already, because surprise, AI has literally been out there for more than a few decades at this point. It's not has been as advanced, and it's not moving as fast as it is starting to go now. But we've been using AI for a long time. You might just not have realized it at times.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a really good idea to give people the choice to select based off of their mindset, based off of their situation. I think as long as you penalize someone if they're picking this top tier, high resource, high thing, and then they can't, like, it's failing all the time. It's like, great, so now you have reliability score, you know, or whatever it is. I mean, I think that's a really good idea. It sounds like you guys have thought about a lot of those.
Oh, we have multiple calls a week, and then me and Alex spend hours a day talking through these type of things, right? So, but I think download is actually going to be more important for this type of work than upload.
Really? Okay. Why do you say that? Like, why is that? Just so I understand.
And download would be more important because you'll be downloading data sets to your rigs, and then that data set then has to be processed to do things, right? So think about regular mining. You get a package sent to you. You chew through that, and then you send it back. But now we're going to talk bigger data sets. So yeah, I think Alex 𝗟ci did a stream on Sunday with, I think he did it with Red Panda Manning, and then they showcased the octominer there.
Correct.
And you might have noticed that there's a lot of storage available in there.
Correct.
That's on purpose. Storage is going to be a big thing for AI, especially with modeling. Think about it. If I want you to run an AI model on, let's say, a cancer detection on kidneys, and you want to send that through, I'm going to send you a ton of images of CT scans of a kidney.
For it to go through,
to go through, right? And those a CT scan can vary from a few hundred megabytes to a gig and more.
Okay.
So at that point, it's a lot of data that has to be sent over. So let's say I'm sending you 100 studies, each a gig. We're using 100 gig. I'm not saying that's always going to be the case.
Sure, I get it.
Yeah,
so when I chatted with Alex, I had a one-on-one with him not too long ago. If people didn't check it out, focus a lot more on hardware. He had recommended very much of having your fast disk and slow disks. So have, you know, here, like him and I said, hey, I'm looking at like a 1 terabyte solid state drive, and then I bought like an 8 terabyte additional drive for this setup. And he said having cold storage, like larger cold storage, will be super, super beneficial, especially when you're looking at the benchmark and stuff like that. So that's really good to know in that regard, to have 2 different types of hard drive types, which it makes sense. Even looking at traditional bare metal systems, it's like you have your fast disks and your slow disks, and there's a value to each of those. And so it sounds like that's going to come into play here as well.
Yeah, and for those who are in the space, who are in AI and do AI modeling and all that fun stuff, they know what I'm talking about here. And some of these things are not like, hey, let's quickly run it for a few minutes. That's in your build out. That's in
Mm-hmm.
how you're building out your modeling. But once you decide to really go ham on it, you're basically having your gaming PC might not be the one to pick at that point, because some of
Yeah.
these things will run for like a week, 2 weeks, a month, if not
Wow.
longer.
Okay.
So at that point, the beauty of the system at that point is that if your system is set up properly, you'll be basically set for a month, and you'll be a guaranteed payout at that point. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
passive income almost at that point,
Yeah.
versus here and there picking up jobs. So you kind of want to be in that area where you can really do those type of big jobs where you basically are a proper provider at that point.
Yeah, so based off my understanding so far, proof of useful work, and there were a few questions I had that people had asked previously on it, is that people will be running Flux Core, and let's say they're mining, for all intents and purposes, let's say you're mining Flux or Ergo or whatnot. You're mining it just like you would traditionally with your hardware. And then a project comes along, proof of useful work project comes along. You'll pause on what you're doing. The machine will pause on what it's doing. It'll pivot over to proof of useful work. It could run there for a month, like you said, and then it will finish up if all goes well, and then it'll pivot back to what it was doing, and then you'll be paid out in Flux for your compute. Is that pretty accurate at a super high level?
Yep.
Okay.
That's pretty accurate. Yeah. We're looking at a couple other models as well where AI or research folks will be able to say, hey, think about it, the old school pin board in a hallway where there are all these little jobs. Hey, I'm looking for somebody to mow my lawn. Well, we'll have somebody saying a research project. Hey, I need 100 3060s or the compute power of that amount, and then you'll be able to sign up.
That's pretty
further
cool.
down the line, and what's more cool is further down the line, we want to be able to have you guys pool up. So if you say, hey, me and my friends together, we have 100.
Oh, I like that.
The equivalent of X amount of things. So you can basically create your mini companies within, and then present yourself as a small company, and then basically pool together your resources.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting. I've heard of some conversations on that. So that's really like separately on just regular GPU mining and other things like that to be able to kind of come together. That's a really cool avenue to go. And then you have X amount, so you're more attractive when you get your resources together, especially as home miners. If you're like, all right, each of us built a rig, we're not as attractive by ourselves, but with 30 of us together, now we're looking pretty good. I like that idea of like that board style where you could like go out, grab these jobs or elect to be a part of these jobs. And then, when it fills up, then everyone kicks off. I think that's a really cool idea. Will you be able to have your machine idle and not traditionally mining, and then when a proof of useful work job comes along, it grabs it? Okay. I wasn't sure if you had to be, which is really nice.
Like I said earlier, right? The reason we call it Flux Core is because at the core of all of it, you're going to have this software running. And then on top of that, you're going to have building blocks that you can put on there. I'm not going to disclose too much of it. It'll be pretty clear once you see it. But it's basically all small building blocks on top. And then together, it'll basically create its own little economy. And then you'll be able to do multiple things with that one machine.
So something someone had asked here, Motor City, and I appreciate the question there. How do overclocks work for proof of useful work jobs? So my understanding is on Flux Core, you'll be able to go in and let's say I'm mining Ergo. I can set my overclock settings, mine Ergo, but then when it pivots over to proof of useful work, overclock settings are out the window because it's using it's using all of the hardware. Is that accurate or no?
That is fairly accurate. But you'll still be able to tweak. I'm still playing with the idea as a miner myself that I want to be able to tweak my GPUs. If I don't need to use the full power consumption, I will tweak it, and I will tune it down myself. At the cost maybe of a bit of benchmark score. But I want to. As a miner, I want to be efficient, and we want to get that efficiency back as well. So it's going to be the early days of mining. We don't know exactly if it's going to play out like that. I'm hoping that's going to play out like that, where you can tweak. If I'm doing rendering, you can lower the memory, you can up the core speed, that type of thing.
Wow. Okay. That's really. I mean, it's. Give it to me tomorrow, Jeffy. Let's go, buddy. Let's go. Like, let's do this. It sounds great.
No. I got. Who was it the other day that was asking for the 1080? Name escapes me now, but yeah.
Okay. That's really interesting.
And
so,
I see somebody saying something there, right?
Go
so
for
I
it.
love Flux. Just wish it was less power intensive. It is very less power intensive. It's just a matter of tweaking it. It really is. It really is just a matter of tweaking it. My 580s are still mining Flux. I got what is it? My 6700 XT or 6600 XTs. They're mining it and they're barely drawing power at this point. You can just, it's just a matter of setting the correct overclocking.
Yeah, to bring those down quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
I get it. Cool. So let's see. Anything else you'd like to share with us on proof of useful work before we hit up some other things? We won't go too long. We'll go for maybe 29. Do you have 29 more minutes? You go till 11:30?
Oh yeah.
Okay, perfect. Awesome.
I'm on Central. It's only 10
o'clock. That's true. That's true. So we'll anything else you have regarding proof of useful work? I mean, I know Savages in chat want to know about profitability, but there's nothing to gauge right now. Like the product hasn't even launched.
I'm not disclosing any pricing at this point.
Perfect. Please don't. Please don't. Anything else you'd like to disclose on proof of useful work or things that you think would be good to know?
So the biggest misconception, and we touched on it a few times already, you don't need big servers, right? So don't think you need the biggest servers out there. You can ease into it. I've been buying locally. I've been buying A4000s, picking them up cheap, left and right. But I'm also I got my, what was it, 3060s, 3070s, still laying around. I'm still looking at 1080s as well, because they're pretty good for AI. So don't think you need to go straight away to the most expensive stuff. Ease into it. See if you like it. See if it's usable. See if it's easy for you to use or not. And just let's build it together as we go.
I like it. Cool. So we'll jump into some other questions here that people had, but one thing we got is Cypherpunk coming up in September, which is exciting, right around the corner. I mean, we got Mining Disrupt and then Cypherpunk.
Yeah, after Mining Disrupt, I think I'm gonna get into like a vortex of conferences and trade shows and all that fun stuff, right? So we got Cypherpunk after Mining Disrupt. What else do we have?
When's CES? Well, CES will be down the road. Yeah.
Vegas. Yeah. We're looking at RSNA, which is the largest radiology conference in the world.
For the proof of useful work side of things, for that compute. Yep, I got it. Yep.
We got a conference in Denver, and then there's some in Europe as well that we're going to be attending. I think we're looking at the Binance one in where was it, in Istanbul.
Wow, so you guys are going to be busy.
Oh yeah, we're going to be. Awesome. I'll be busy. I'll be flying all over, I think, which is fine. I'm pretty passionate about this stuff, and we're going to make a difference, and I gladly jump in a plane and start flying all over.
So, for those that don't know, what exactly is Cypherpunk?
So Cypherpunk is, what is Cypherpunk? It's your non-traditional conference or non-traditional kind of blockchain meetup. If you've ever been to like a Bitcoin thing or an Ethereum one, it's everything but that. So it's not your traditional trade show. Yes, we will have folks will sort of booths. I'm using air quotes here. More like spaces where you can interact with those folks. We're bringing the after party to the main floor, so everybody who's there will be able to hang out with folks that might be harder to get to otherwise. We got folks like yourself, I believe, is coming.
I will be there 100%.
And if not, I will make sure we drag you over there. But no, like there's you can hang out with me if you really want to do that. But you can talk with Alex. We're gonna have a party there at the same time. It's all included in your ticket. There's food available, drinks available,
Very cool.
DJ, all of it. And at the same time, you get to listen to some interesting speakers, some panels, and at the same time, just mingle and connect with other folks versus walking down aisles back and forth and back and forth and walking from booth to booth to booth. And at the end of the day, you've done your 10,000 steps, and then now you're gonna get into the after parties. And but we kind of bring it all together, condense it a little closer together, and that's fun.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like a good change of pace. Like I think because
it's different.
Yeah, because I think the mentality that you're sharing and the way it's going to feel and look is very much like why you go to these events. Like that's really the main thing. Like, yeah, you go to a booth and you see some cool stuff they're doing, but you're moving on pretty quick versus like having a chance to hang out with these people, socialize or experience things. So I think that'll be pretty sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is Fort Lauderdale? Fort Lauderdale, right?
Yes, we're in Fort Lauderdale, 27, 28 of September, and Scott, who's in the chat, will correct me if I was wrong, but but yeah, no, Fort Lauderdale in the end of September. And again, the idea is to, as a community, have a good time together versus, like I said, like the traditional trade show and trying to meet up with somebody and say hi quickly and then move on because you have to go to that booth or that booth. No, we condense it and we make it fun, and we kind of why you go to these things is to have fun and learn something at the same time. That's the idea of all of this.
Got it. Got it.
Yep. And so we're gonna have people like 𝗏𝗏𝗏 is helping us out. We got a bunch of speakers already lined up. 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐜𝐴 is coming as well with a speaker. Yeah, Block Square was announced the other day. So yeah, lots of fun.
That is great. So should we be seeing, or we're going to start to see more and more from a social media side of announcements and things like that, I would assume?
Yeah. Cypherpunk, we got a Twitter space or a Twitter account for it. Of course, the Run on Flux Twitter will also retweet some of these things. We'll be doing some giveaways as well. We'll be reaching out to yourself and other YouTubers, give you guys a chance to give away some tickets as well.
Fantastic.
And I think you guys will also be giving a code so you can have discounts for if you go via you guys.
Nice, which will be great. Let's see what else we got there. So talking about, I was curious on, so we're going to pivot now into some other random topics that we have here. What exactly went on? What was the whole deal that went on that affected, and I don't know all the details, but affected on Flux with like, I know the Titan nodes were affected by it and there were a few other things. You guys had to do an upgrade. What was that all about? Give us the rundown.
So we were thinking of going live. We're now a year live with Titan in beta, and we thought it would be a good idea to go out of beta into the live area. So we thought we would move everything over into proper servers, and to a more stabilized environment. And we were also at the end of our hosting with some of these server providers, so we were moving everything over. And unfortunately, as we were moving things, one of the databases got corrupt. Of course, it's always as Murphy goes. It's one of the more important ones that was corrupted.
Of course it was.
Yeah, that's how Murphy goes. And even though we planned these things out, we had backups and all that. The one thing that we didn't have was what was it again? Your time itself. So the time. So when you started staking, that time frame, that's the piece we lost. So we had to rebuild the entire database, which is easy to do because it's a blockchain, and we use the blockchain for 99% of the.
It's all recorded. It's all recorded somewhere.
It's all recorded. So we took our time, and I know it took a little longer than people like to see these type of things. But when something goes wrong, there's two things I like to do as an IT person: is what went wrong. So I kind of want to have an idea on what happened. Can we prevent this next time? And then two, as this is all your Flux, right? So we want to make sure that we do the right thing, and we wanted to make sure if we rebuild it, is it one correct? How do we prevent it? And of course, because the time frame was lost, we had to find a mechanism to get you guys back on track.
I'll get caught up from there.
Yep.
Got it. Okay, cool. So that's all resolved now. It's all taken care of. You guys are all kosher now.
Yeah, for weeks now.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, and if you haven't done it yet, so what happened now is basically everybody was set to 12 months again. You're able to set your own dates again. So let's say you started in January and you had it set for 6 months. You basically come up now to your expiry. If you now go in and you set it to 6 months, it'll expire.
Mine expires July 20th is my 12 months.
Yep.
I got on like the day you guys, I think it was the day or the second day I got on. I can't remember when you guys launched the Titan nodes, but I got on July 20th of last year, and that was my 12 month
it went a little bigger than we wanted
to
for Titan for a beta. And because we were like, yeah, well, let's do a couple servers and see how it goes. And before we knew it, we were at over 100 servers. So, but yeah, now we have, and I think Greg is in the chat too.
Yeah, I see his comment. Now we have 4 backups.
Yeah, we went full paranoia. He's absolutely right. Like we have Discord alerts set up if a backup doesn't work now, or if a backup fails. We have extra alerting. We've got extra auditing. Yeah, we went full ham.
Hey, so you learned from your mistake, which is fantastic.
If you're not doing it that way, you're doing it wrong, right? So.
And what is Greg's role with the team?
Greg is the infrastructure guy and the security guy. Like and he's involved in proof of use work as well. So he's instrumental in helping set up servers and securing them, and he's the one who pokes holes in our products as well. Or I brought him in on proof of use work early on to help testing, and he was like poking holes left and right. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. And I'm like, okay, Greg, we get it. It's bad. It's all bad.
You asked him to do it. I get it. So, talking about security a little bit, is there anything on your team's horizon for the Flux team to open up, like independent security audits or anything like that you guys are interested in order to like earn anything or to prove yourselves or anything like that? Like, how does that kind of come into play, especially from your side of the world, working with business development?
Yep. So we've already started looking at potential partners on doing this. So there's proper firms who do this type of stuff on a daily basis. So we've already started lining up some firms to really start poking holes in our software, just to make sure we're good. And we're hoping, of course, they don't find anything. But if you don't go looking for it, somebody will, and then
somebody else will.
And then, right? So we have to be proactive on these things, and Greg is one of the guys who does like to poke the holes in a lot of these things. He runs audit reports and all that fun stuff. He's 𝗏𝐺𝐸 on Discord if you're ever wondering. So he's the guy who goes after all the scammers and all the bots that join the Discord channels, right? So
I like it. I like that. That's perfect. So talking about pivoting a little bit there, you guys made an announcement more recently on changing with your nodes on your ports and things like that, regarding that. What was the main reasoning behind that, and when does that start to get enforced from your side of the world to affect node operators?
So the change on the ports is because the port ranges that we utilize are not always the enterprise type of node, type of ports that are being used. So we actually had to turn down a couple customers basically because of the ports that we didn't have available to them, or they would have to reconfigure their end, and that would take up too much of their time, and time is money for them. So we basically had to shift gears and try and solve the issue, right? So, and the issue was the ports themselves. So we were trying to figure that out and how we want to get that going. So yeah, that we're trying to provide what's required for some of the customers that are out there.
Sure,
Or potential
sure. So
customers.
I mean, it definitely sounds like, and I don't physically have any nodes, so I'm not a node operator. I don't have any nodes. I've always had challenges with upload speed, so I've never gone that route. But it sounds like the nodes are moving in a direction very much, as you said, enterprise. So it's very much, it may end up being VPSs with dedicated IP addresses, with with dedicated firewall configurations that have those opened up. Because I know a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, it's so many ports that I need to just pretty much DMZ it at the end of the day. And to a degree, it's almost giving one purpose. Like that IP is, and that network has one purpose, and it's to that node, is what it sounds like. It's moving more and more in that direction. And I think a challenge is, especially my community, home miners, is the challenge of like, that doesn't really line up for home miners. But at the end of the day, sure it does. Yeah, sure. But it's at the end. Go ahead. What do you got?
If you think about it, it's basically, you have to just take a step back and just think about how your network is set up, and you have to put your own security, your own decentralized database, system administrator, as we've always called it, right?
Yeah, you have.
And yes, node operating is not for everybody. This is not your traditional master nodes. You stand them up and you never look back kind of thing.
Set it, forget it. Yep.
Yeah, this is not our. We're not in the '90s commercials, unfortunately. This is an active system, and you have to think about how you do your security. So DMZs is one way to go, and it's totally feasible to do it at home. I've done it here as well. It's just a matter of thinking your security and putting the necessary things in place. And we're gonna be I know for sure we're gonna be releasing some videos on tips and tricks and all that fun stuff,
which is perfect. And I think that's where people's mind go, is like, how do I make this work in my situation? And you had said, like, there is a level, if
you're pretty lax with your security at this point already, you're already in trouble, right? So maybe it's actually a good exercise for a lot of people to think about how secure is their network actually, and how trustworthy is their router at this point with the firewall that they have installed by default on it. So it's not a bad thing to really start thinking of these things. You can utilize what is the thing that I have here, Netgate and all that fun stuff. You can use that, set up your own private LAN within, secure it that way. There's other ways to do it, but yeah.
It's good to know. Yeah, I know it's always a challenge. Like, and I hear I see both sides of that. You're trying to provide an enterprise level product. Okay. Then on the homeowner side of things, your home miner, you got to step up your game a little bit. And that's the hard part, is like, everybody wants to participate, but I think the hard truth is not everybody can. Like, I think that's the hard truth, is not everybody can. If it comes down to internet speeds with uploads, or if it comes down to, as you had said, backgrounds in security or whatever. I get it. I get it. I totally do.
And I see Retro Mike Tag is there in the chat as well. I see you guys. You're blocking out service nodes for all other projects due to the possibility of port collision and port routing for the home enthusiast. No, we're not. There's actually an option available to you to actually exclude ports. So you can actually, if you are running a certain other node or whatever, you can actually exclude that port so that you can keep running your things. There's a bunch of ports that you're allowed to exclude. So
when you're setting it up, got it.
Yep. So we have options out there to tackle that concern, because you might be running things yourself already, right? Or there might be ports that you're already having used for other services. Well aware, so you can exclude those.
And when do you guys put that into play? When is that, like, forced upon? Is that coming up here soon?
I would actually have to look myself. I don't know the date or the block.
Okay. Sometime coming up. Okay, got it. Okay, that's good to know. Random question, Travelers Travels in chat. Once is why I look up another one. What are your A4000s going for locally that you're getting, cost wise?
I was able to get these at $300 a pop.
Wow, so that's like right around your 3070 mark then, right there. Yeah, that's great.
300 Canadian.
Oh, okay. All right. Now we're talking different. Okay. Wow. All right.
So these go normally. You can still buy these new for I believe 700 US at the moment, and I've seen them even priced at $1,200. So
Jeez.
yeah, these were cheap, and unfortunately, a bit of a backstory with these guys. This is from a Ukrainian fella who had to flee the country and was in need of money, so he was selling everything that he had.
Wow.
And I even offered, I even offered him to give them back, and I said, I'm not buying them. Put them on proof of use of work for us. Put them to work, and he's like, no, I'm sorry, I kind of need the cash now. So
Got it. Okay.
I bought them. So I instead of haggling and going down, I gave him a couple extra.
Good for you. Money. Good for you. So we were talking about earlier proof of useful work, and I know you guys had said on several streams, on several videos about NVIDIA with AMD. What is it about AMD that doesn't make it, and correct me if I'm wrong if this has changed, is it still that AMD day one is not going to be utilized, or it will be with proof of useful work?
Not for proof of use work. No,
not for proof of useful work. Okay, not straight away. And what is the, so I can understand it, my community, what is there a reason behind it, like NVIDIA versus AMD, or what is it
CUDA.
that makes it?
It's CUDA. It's as simple as that. A lot of the AI products out there, or folks that are working with AI, are more familiar at this point with NVIDIA. I know AMD is trying to catch up, but majority out there is familiar with NVIDIA, and so we're catering to the masses.
Okay, that makes sense. I like it there. I don't know if you can answer the question. Somebody was asking about like the Titan watches and getting the rewards with Zelcore and with the NFT. Is that up your avenue, or is that more Dan's avenue on that one? Like when the Titan watch rewards go out, you know what I mean?
Oh, do you mean the NFTs themselves?
Correct.
I'm waiting myself. So
okay.
I know
Zelcore
that
Plus and NFT, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I think they were gonna release them on Kadena, the NFTs, and Kadena was doing something with Marmalade 2.0, I believe it was called.
Okay.
And I don't know if we're waiting for that. I don't know the full backstory there. I spend a ton of time on Flux, and that one of the things I have been focused on lately. So I would have to.
That's fine. That's fine.
I would have to ask myself.
Yep, that's fine. I saw that come up there, which was good.
Now, regarding Cypherpunk, though, if you have a watch, you are able to get a VIP ticket for it, and those.
What's this right here? What's this right here?
Oh, what's that? Oh, look at that loot box. Oh,
I know. You can't really see it. Yes, I have a video coming out on that shortly here. Yeah, I got it the other week.
So yeah, you'll get an email soon enough. Yes, Patrick, it's a box. And you'll get an email with the instructions on how to claim your VIP ticket for Cypherpunk, as that is one of the perks of having the watch.
What number do you have?
I've got 69.
Wow, of course you do. I think mine is like 189 or something like that. I'd have to look and see. I don't remember. I know it's on there.
No,
I've worn it once.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, very much so. All right, let me see. Trying to see if there's any other questions. We have a few minutes here.
Sure.
Just trying to see.
Ask me a difficult one.
Yeah, a difficult one. Okay, let's look here. What does a successful Flux proof of useful work launch look like to you?
Oh, that's a really good one. I haven't really thought about it in that way, to be honest. Because I see it as a slow rollout. I don't see it as like a big bang thing. Now, I say that, but we are working and talking with some potential partners and basically consumers of the product. We might actually have to go with a big bang.
Like out of the gates, just to go ahead.
Out of the gates straight away.
They're going to have a high demand, so you got to fulfill. Is that what it sounds like?
Yep. So Yeah.
Wow, that would be fantastic for you guys. Is it going to be very much like, hey, we have a closed beta for this, and then open, or no? Is it just going to be like we're opening the floodgates and it's available, or how's that going to look from a rollout?
So as I said, right, so it's going to be beta first, so there will be
Okay.
a ton of updates.
Okay.
Um, so like even today, like with the developers, I have a new fresh build every morning
Wow.
to start my day. Yeah, no, the guys are like nonstop. It's crazy.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's pretty cool to see every day. I get a new build, I get updates, and I expect that to continue even after mining disrupt. And those who will get access to it will basically be able to do the same thing, update every day, and test out the new benchmarks, see if things break, and see if you see smoke appear out of your computer. And no, all good.
So the benchmark we have coming up here soon
Mhm.
is, I feel like the original plan was like proof of use will work like still like 2024. Was that correct, or is that timeline been
Yeah.
moved up
No,
significantly?
no, 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 no,
Okay.
no, no. So originally, we had Q3, Q4 for first testing,
Okay.
and then launch would be Q1 2024.
Okay.
Um, we're still kind of following that timeline, but because of the fluidity of and the modular build out of the system, we might be launching things sooner than later.
Okay.
But no promises.
Okay.
But the benchmark first. I need numbers. I need to know how people their computers are. I need to know what's available out there, speeds.
You can't sell it to
Still,
customers on a hope and a whim, you know?
exactly. I need hard facts, and everybody's going to be able to help with that. And yeah, there will be some incentives as well. I
Hmm.
know Dan talked about that already. How that looks yet, I have to vet that out with the
Hmm.
team. Um, but we'll make sure there's some value against it to do certain things.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, excited for it, man. Oh man. Something a question was brought up. I had on my list here. You guys had really pushed WordPress some time ago, like WordPress,
Yep.
WordPress, WordPress. You guys launched.
Yep.
Yeah. Where's that at? How'd that go? How's that going? You know, I haven't heard a lot recently, but I know it was a big push for you guys for a little while.
So WordPress is still in beta, and I
Okay.
get that question quite often, like why is it still in beta, beta? Why? Um, with WordPress, we were able to push the network and the current node infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
And as you might have noticed, we've had a ton of updates on Flux nodes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's thanks to those folks who've started using WordPress on our environment.
Okay, so it's forced it. Okay.
Yep. So WordPress has forced and shown us issues with the network and things that we didn't account for.
Okay.
Even though it's such it's a living organism almost, right? So it's constantly in flux, pun intended, um, and and because of that, it's not like, hey, I'm installing my WordPress on this server, and
Mm-hmm.
every time I want to connect to it, it's going to be there. Oh, the server is down. I'm going to have to just boot up my server, and my WordPress is back online.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little different animal with Flux, as because you might turn off your node tomorrow because you want to upgrade your node or you want to
Mm-hmm.
get out of Flux or whatever you want to do. You want to buy Bitcoin, whatever. So you turn down, and then automatically it has to pop up somewhere else.
It's
That
got to
all worked.
migrate to another node. Yeah.
It has to migrate. It has to figure out who's the new master in the cluster and all that fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes things go wrong that we didn't account for. We would have two masters. We would have no masters. So
Oh, okay.
all of these things, we vetted out a ton of these things already before we released it. We thought we were in a good spot, but then as soon as we had more and more people join in, so as soon as we had volume come in,
Mm-hmm.
is when we started seeing things that were not always up to snuff, and we tackled them, and we're still working on them. We still have developers right now tackling these issues.
Okay.
Um,
So it's more of an
at the same time-
infrastructure. Right now, it's more of an infrastructure, which includes
Yeah.
node situation with WordPress. Got it. Okay.
So we had a combination. So there was because WordPress itself, you have to keep in mind that WordPress is a technology of 2003. So we're talking 20-year-old technology here, running with MySQL and all that.
Everybody and their brother's got a WordPress site, though. Come on now.
You have people who were born after WordPress was released who now are getting
Insanity.
into IT, right?
Yeah.
Right. So think about that. So we're now using that old technology and we're plopping it into a decentralized network, which was never built out to do. So we have our own components built out to tackle that, to make it think it's running on its traditional type of hardware. And we ran into bugs and all other kind of things that we had to account for that we originally didn't see or we didn't encounter ourselves. So yeah.
So that's why it's still in
beta.
beta as of right now, because that gives you that opportunity to work through that.
Until I am fully confident and the team is fully confident that now we're dealing with smaller things, we go live. At the same time, we still are developing further on it. So we're building out backup mechanisms. Where we kind of think about how Apple does Time Machine. We're doing something similar so that we have backups running in case something does go wrong with the move of oh, am I getting on?
You're okay. I moved you. You're just slowly leaning back.
I'm just leaning back here in my chair.
If it's not 𝗵𝐸, it's not 𝗵𝐸 Django's microphone just moving on screen on its own. It's you slowly moving. You're just like slowly moving off the camera. That's all good. No, that's fine. That's fine. No, I think that was I was interested on the WordPress side because I know that was a big talk of the town not too long ago. So that's definitely good to know. So last question I'll ask you, just proof of useful work. Two things. What hardware are you currently buying for your own proof of useful work farm that you're looking to turn up yourself at home?
Oh, I knew that question would come.
I mean, you shared you said you shared A4000s.
Yeah, A4000s.
Okay.
So definitely those because they're pretty damn good for one. They're so sleek, right? So they're very, very, very sleek.
Well, and I knew that was a no-brainer anyway with the A4000s. That was super, common with the workstation setups.
Yeah. And so I have to talk to Chili. Procuring a couple Octo miners or Octo servers. What are they called? Octo servers or Octo miners?
They're Octo servers is what they're calling from the Octominer side, but you're looking for the Flux server, right? The Flux servers for
the Flux versions.
I get
I'm
that.
gonna be looking for a couple of those, and then I'm adding some 3060s and some 3070s.
Nice. Nice. I mean, I'm not surprised with the 3060s because of the memory. I'm not surprised about that then.
Yeah, and I saw a tweet the other day from somebody with a 3060 Ti where you can put an NVMe on it now.
Oh, really? Modify it in order for additional memory.
Yeah, I'm wondering how that's gonna work and what that would do for AI. So I might actually procure me some of those. A shed, or a workshop.
I know, what's the deal on the shed? Come on, the workshop. Yeah, there you go. It's your AI workshop, right?
Yeah, the AI workshop. I'm waiting on permits now on my end.
Okay. Like township and stuff like that.
Yep. Even though I'm in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. I still gotta get it.
There's
right?
still bylaws apparently.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, that's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah, and so as Greg says there, as we get closer to the launch, those benchmarks will be, of course, all anonymized. There will be a website where you can actually see it. So if you're interested to see what people are scoring, you can actually see the top 10, the top 20, whatever.
Where the different GPUs stack up and stuff like that.
What are they running? So if you're interested and you're holding off, and you can see what other people are running to base yourself on that. But yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Man, things are moving along.
It's pretty crazy. It's proof of use of work. It's become a hype thing lately. But me and Alex, we were talking about this stuff in February last year already, and how we were gonna roll this out. Were we gonna do an algorithm? How we were gonna do it? Yeah, like we've been working on this for a long time already, and it's interesting to see that all of a sudden this became a hype thing. All of these other coins are popping up left and right.
Yep. I think people are just looking, like right now in such a bear market, people are looking for that next project, that next thing to get behind, the next thing to be a part of. You know, for the longest time during the bull run, it was just like mine Ethereum to make money. And it was so like mining was, I mean, granted, I came into mining February 15th, 2021. That was my first video. I didn't even have any GPUs. Came into mining then. It was my first YouTube video. But it was like the path for mining was so easily set. You get some hardware, anything you plug in is profitable, and you're most likely going to put it on ETH if it's, you know, a certain gigabyte size GPU, and you make money, and great. Anything other than that was random altcoins that weren't as profitable, but still profitable, and that was it. And now it's like when you remove the word profitable from that entire conversation, and now you're just talking about projects you're interested in, it's like, holy cow, like, it kind of gets you back to that grassroots feel of getting involved in projects. And it's like, okay, here's something different, something new, additional ways to earn Flux. That's kind of the way, you know, it's not replacing it. It's just an additional way to do it. So I think that's why people are so interested, because it's like coming up with creative ways to be, unfortunately, it's sad to say, more profitable as a miner.
Yeah. Yeah. And just to caution everybody, because this is not the first time I've been in a bear market, so I've seen it a few times now. The last bear, not you, Greggy Bear, you're good. But the last bear, I saw coins popping up left and right, like every day there was a new coin. It was so weird, because I was running a pool back then, and I was getting DMs left and right for, hey, run my coin. Hey, can you post my coin on the pool? And every day there was a new coin. So I was pretty, at the beginning, I didn't realize it, but after a few rug pulls, we were like, okay, that's enough. We're going to be rather picky. And that's actually how I ended up with Flux.
You don't tell everybody the whole video we did together. Jeez,
no. But it's just a word of caution is just be careful with all those with all the coins that are coming out. Get your bags. Don't get me wrong. Get your bags.
Yep. Get in early. Get your bag and get out.
But don't stick to them as much, or they have to have a proper white paper, a proper a disclosure of who they are, what they're doing. If they're not really pretty transparent, it's a red flag in my book. I'm not saying they're not doing the right thing. They might just don't want to do certain things for whatever reason. It's just a red flag at that point. So just be careful out there. But yeah, get your bags of all the coins out there, and as soon as the market picks up more, because I think we're already in a bull, by the way.
You think we're in the early upswing? Okay.
No, not the early. We're well already in the bull market. Keep in mind, we were at, what was it, below 20,000 almost.
Yeah, Bitcoin there. I got an alert earlier tonight that like Bitcoin was below 30, and then I've literally been watching your little ticker there, and I'm like, I just look, I'm like, it's back up. It's like back up. Yeah, chat can't see it right now. I'll move the screen over real quick. He's got this cool little ticker right there. That now granted it's flipped here, it's mirrored for the way he's sitting, but for me I can see it okay, and it comes up on Bitcoin, and I was like, oh good, we're back above 30. That's all that matters. Like, I'm glad we're finding that point, absolutely, which is cool. All right, well, 𝗏𝐺𝐸, I appreciate you coming on, dude, filling in for Mr. Daniel Keller, who wasn't available tonight. I think you did a good job. So
okay, thanks. I didn't have a whiskey. It wasn't a whiskey bar. I'm sorry.
You know, that was, you know what, that was fun. I don't know if Dan and I will ever do that again. The cigar bar
I'm
with
sure you can. You can.
Oh, we'll definitely make it happen.
You had your stream today with him if you would have been at the bar.
That's right. Sure. But you scheduled it out. That was fun to do that. That'll be fun to do that again sometime. But yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on. I do appreciate it. And guys, if you guys have more questions, feel free to hit up 𝗏𝐽𝐻𝐾. He's very transparent and open. Which will be good. So I think the next time I'll see you is in 2 weeks now, down in Miami at Mining Disrupt.
Yep. Maybe we'll do a stream there as well. I don't know.
Yep.
We'll have the space for it.
Awesome.
And good on me. No leaks. It seems so.
I don't know about leaks, but you definitely provided some more insight, which is I think was super valuable on how
insight
things
is more
will work.
Important, right?
Yep, 100%. Well, 𝗏𝐽𝐻𝐾, appreciate it, man. You have a good night. Thank you.
You too. See you guys.
See you, man.
Bye.
All right, chat. That's going to wrap things up for today. Oh, one of my lights went out. It died. But that was fun. Had a lot of fun. As I said before at the top of the stream, sorry that Daniel Keller couldn't make it. Last minute, he had to cancel. But awesome to have DeFi Django jump in for that first 30 minutes. Just kind of shoot the shit, talk GPU mining, even though we did have some microphone issues there. But glad we got that figured out. And then on top of that, guys, hanging out with 𝗏𝐽𝐻𝐾, it was awesome. I mean, I learned a ton about proof of useful work that I did not know. And I'm really glad that we were actually able to connect with that. He answered a ton of questions. I tried to get to as many questions as you guys could that you guys provided. You guys did provide a lot, which was great. Chatted about a few things there. But yeah, other than that, that's it for tonight, guys. I'm going to head out. I got some editing to do for a video dropping tomorrow. Talking about Bitcoin pools. So if you guys do enjoy the channel, check it out. It'll drop tomorrow morning about 8:45, 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern. And I got some great stuff coming to you guys next week. If you guys are interested, just quick heads up. As I said, I will be going to Mining Disrupt, and I will be releasing a video every day at Mining Disrupt, which will be awesome. I want you guys to experience it remotely, even though all you guys can't make Mining Disrupt. I'm going to have videos at the event, multiple, which will be awesome. Releasing those. I actually have brought on 2 people to help me with that, to do that, to pull that off, which will be pretty cool. So anyways, guys, I'm out. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.